Oh, yeah. Oh, we're in for another messy show. How you doing? I'm Dave. It's Kid Friday. It is show number 220. We do the show because you are a kid in a digital world. And wow. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to say what we might talk about. What we're planning to talk about, and we'll see if we actually talk about it. All right. So, a couple things. Number one, let's see. Apple buys Shazam. What does that mean? I don't know. Hey, you know those Tesla cars, those electric cars? They're coming out with a semi, and a company already ordered some. A big electric semi. How much would that cost to charge? I have no idea. We'll look into that. Also, if you had, if you wanted something for the holiday season and you didn't get it because someone told you, hey, they were sold out, there were some bots out there crawling the web, and as soon as something was available that's super hot, it was snapping and buying it up before you even knew it was there. Really interesting stuff. We'll talk about that. Apple, some people upset about Apple. The people who own older iPhones say that, Apple's intentionally slowing their phones down so they'll upgrade and buy a new phone. Clever marketing. If it's real. We have Apple's response, by the way, so we'll talk about that. Maybe, right? So what web browser do you use? I usually use Google Chrome, maybe a little Safari, Firefox. There's so many out there, but I never use Bing, and Bing has some new AI, artificial intelligence, that says they can make better search results for you. Might have to check out Bing. I don't know. See, again, potentially, maybe talk about it. How about Bitcoin? You ever heard of Bitcoin? You can go mining for Bitcoin, but it costs more to mine it than it is to buy it. That's true. So much more. And, I've got something really cool to show you. A place I went to. I took some video. We'll start off with that, actually. So let's get this party started, shall we say? It is Kid Friday. Oh, I was going to say this, too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Why was I going to thank you? I'm trying to think of why I was going to thank you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Kid Friday number 6, I just pulled this up off the iTunes chart, literally. Minutes before I hit the record button. So in Kids and Family Top Video Podcast, there it is, Kid Friday number 6. What's with that Sesame Street always beating us? That's an insult. So tell all your friends to, I don't know, just tell them hi. All right, so here we go. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I bet we get to some of it. Hey, it's Kid Friday. It's 220. Let's go.
Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Oh!
Let's get this party started.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I love computers. I have an iPod. I'm a gadget freak. I like to play with my display. I do it every day. I have awesome technique. Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I love this stuff, can't you see? Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I'm a kid who's in love with technology. Kid Friday.
Yay, oh, yay. Kid Friday brought to you by Story Cub Video Picture Books. It is story time all the time. Ooh, love that Story Cub. You can go to storycub.com. You can sign up for the free story of the day. You can, you know what you can do? You can watch free stories right there on the homepage. Boom. Want to watch some free stories? Just click, boom. You're watching some stories. It's story time. It's great for bedtime, nap time, anytime, wherever you are. If you are in the desert of whatever, or the snow-filled mountains of Erie, Pennsylvania, because, I heard they got hit with a lot of snow. regardless, it doesn't matter what the weather's like. Doesn't matter. Never. Here's a little something I'm gonna throw on the side for you. Never judge the day by the weather. Okay, great things can happen on not so nice looking days. So never judge the day by the weather. All right, doesn't matter. Having a great day. All right, Story Cub. Wow, love it. It's in iTunes podcast. You go storycub.com and tell all your friends about it. They are the sponsor for Kid Friday, and without them, we'd be without Story Cub as a sponsor. So there you go. All right, Story Cub, thank you so much for being a sponsor. We really do appreciate it. It's not just, it's sincere. Thanks for being a sponsor right here on Kid Friday. Oh, you know what? I just remembered something. Things got a little messed up. So no racing bear, no dancing bear, no, just look at this. Watch this. Boing. There you go. Good enough? By the way, new studio set up right now. This is just temporary. It could be permanent. I'm not sure. Let us know. Go on our Facebook page. Just search Kid Friday. Join us on Facebook because what we're going to start to do, we are doing it, is some of the stories we're going to be talking about, we're going to let you know about them early via our Facebook page. So join us. It's Facebook. You go in there, you search Kid Friday. It's facebook.com/Kid Friday. Come on. It's not that hard. Is it that hard? Come on, please. All right, so check this out. I have a pinball machine, and I had a big upright Pac-Man arcade game. Sold it to this guy. I don't have room for both of them. So I sold it to this guy, Brian, all right? Let's just say this. He's a hip surgeon, all right? Just saying. Regardless. See, I either say just saying or regardless. So you are calling me out on those. I know. So Brian has a hobby. I think these hip doctors must make good ching because he has his own private arcade, literally. And I went over there because he helped me out with a couple bulbs that I want to check out, some LED bulbs for my pinball machine. But he said, listen, I usually never do this because you can play anything. Everything's just, right there. And it's a totally, you don't know, it's not open to the public. It is in like a building, just plain building. You would never know this was inside. It is just his personal collection, his personal mammoth collection. He could open it to the public, but it's just his stuff. And he's got these guys working on the machines, and he loves them, and who doesn't? So, all right, enough of that setup. Let's check out a little bit of a video that I took, and maybe I'll turn the sound up a little bit of this arcade. But this is this guy's hobby. Okay, it's just a hobby, not open to the public. Look at this. This is. I'll turn. Maybe I'll turn the sound up a little bit because it gets loud. So, there's one night he invited a few people over. I remember, maybe there's like 20 of us, something like that, right? So I thought I'd take a little exclusive Kid Friday video of all these games. Moon Patrol, one of my favorites. Moon Patrol. So this is not in a public place, but in a. It's amazing. It's amazing. There are more games there than in most arcades. I kid you not. So there you go. There's I just kind of spin around the aisle there, show you. I have no idea what it's worth, but it's his hobby. It's his man cave, I guess. Although it's not a cave, and although he is a man. But look at all these games. Oh, one of my favorites I just saw, Chex Hockey. I think we'll see that coming up. Burger Time, great classic game. Look at all these old video games that he restored. And Frogger. I played Frogger probably about 10 times when I was there before I moved on to some other stuff. Galaga is another one that I really like. There's Spy Hunter. It's cool, right? If it were just whatever, but this is someone's private hobby. And he's got a cool jukebox coming up, too. Cranking some AC/DC, if I'm not mistaken. So it's... we're almost done, maybe. There's so many games. Look at this. Journey. The band Journey had their own video game. He has 2 of those. And... oh, there's one of those shooting gun games. The Wild West. Joust. There's I could go... it speaks for itself, right? Maybe. I know. You know what? I never take good video, though. That I played a lot. Chex hockey. That high. It's like foosball, but hockey. It's awesome. That thing you sit down in, it's got 3 screens. It is unbelievable. And I think we're just going to swing around and show you the jukebox. And that's that. So, but look at, there's more games. It's look at this. The back there, that's where all the parts are that he uses to fix this stuff up. Little music coming from the CD jukebox as well. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Well, Brian, thanks again for the invite to stop by your place. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And I don't think I showed literally, I didn't show you all of what he had. Isn't that something? I'm going to go like this for a second. Hold on. There we go. Thanks. Sorry. Isn't that something, though? I didn't show you all he had. He has actually more. And he's all these parts and all this stuff. And he doesn't buy them to sell them necessarily. He buys them to collect them. That's why he's got so many different kinds of video games, old school style. All right. So there you go. Let's talk new school style, shall we? Because some online bots were picking up some stuff that, you could have bought. This is really interesting how the internet and coding and how, you can swoop something up before someone else. And I'm telling you, this is something else. So online bots were buying up Christmas toys, and the Super NES Classic Edition right there, it was among the hot toys that were sold out and appearing on Amazon and eBay for like a lot more money. The culprit, cyber bots. Software programs that constantly scan online shopping markets looking for the most popular toys and then snapping them up as soon as they're offered for sale. Then the items are resold at a mighty big profit, perhaps, most likely double, triple, quadruple the original price. So if it's popular, someone's gonna program these bots to look for it, and then they will resell it. The bots work by constantly combing retail websites, searching sales, and analyzing the website addresses. I'll throw a switch on there too because that was a hot one as well. The moment an item is in stock, the software runs through the checkout process at a speed that is completely inhuman, says an expert. So the bots are drawn to scarce items like sharks to blood. They use web scraping techniques to guess the ID of an unreleased product. That allows them to bypass purchasing limits set by retailers. So it's something else. It is something else. Supply will last only 25 minutes, some people say, or if that. It's interesting because Toys R Us, kind of knew about that, as well as some other retailers, I think, including Target. And they said some items were only available for in-store purchase because they wanted to sell them to people who wanted to buy them, not these people who buy it through this software and then reselling them for huge money. So some stuff, some retailers, they caught on and they said it is for in store only, not available online. So that's kind of cool. Take a look at another view of the Switch there because that's pretty cool. So it's something else. The bots. This guy. When an advertised item is unavailable because of out of stock, customers don't blame bots. They blame the retailer, says a guy who's a retailer. Unusual purchases raise red flags, says Senator Chuck Schumer from New York. Of course. But bottom line is it legal? Well, the law makes it illegal to bypass ticketing website security measures and fines hackers who circumvent the system. But even the law eventually is expanded to cover toys, which it does and doesn't matter because these guys are hard to find. But isn't that something, you think you're online. It's kind of like buying concert tickets. People think, ooh, we're going online to buy concert tickets, and I can't get in. Hey, here's a little inside information for you. If there's a concert you want to go to and it's sold out on the day of the show, okay, so what happens, see, you never know where this show is going. You never know. What happens is there are tickets that are put on hold for the record company and management and the artist, if they got friends coming or whatever, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then on the day of the show, usually you will find, not usually, but actually most of the time, they will release those tickets. And the tickets they're holding a lot of the times are the first row, second row. So you may buy tickets months in advance and get, seats way in the back. But there's a chance. So call the box office. If you want to go to a concert, call the box office day of the show in the morning and say, hey, I'm just curious, are there any tickets that are going to be released? And a lot of the time you're going to hear, yes, we will be getting some tickets, and if you want to call back at like 3:00 or something like that, and all of a sudden, boom, you have awesome tickets that were set aside that just weren't used, and so they put them back in the system. But they don't do that usually until the day of the show. So if there is that Harry Styles or whoever, I don't know, you want to see. On the day of the show, call the box office directly. Don't go online. Call the box office. Call wherever the show is at the whatever arena. Call the arena box office and ask them if there are any tickets being released. That's a good Kid Friday insider tip. Didn't even know we were going that way or anyway. But anyway. You ever heard of Shazam? Bet you have. Does that icon look familiar? So Apple, you've heard of Apple, right? They're Apple buys Shazam. Now, Spotify and Snap were both interested as well in buying Shazam, but Apple said no. So, the London-based music and image recognition service, Shazam, purchased by Apple. So Shazam was one of the earliest players in the world of mobile music. And Apple wants to grow their music business, as does their competition, like I mentioned, Spotify and stuff. So we are thrilled that Shazam and its talented team will be joining Apple. That's the announcement that Apple said. Since the launch of the App Store, Shazam has constantly ranked as one of the most popular apps for iOS. Today, it's used by hundreds of millions of people around the world across multiple platforms. Apple Music and Shazam are a natural fit, sharing a passion for music discovery and delivering great music experiences to our users. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, makes sense. There's a lot of competition out there for streaming music. Although I don't think it was disclosed, but I believe that Apple bought this Shazam for $400 million. You know, before I used to say, that's crazy. That's crazy. Now I'm like, not a bad deal. The way things are going. So Apple buys Shazam. That's the good news for Apple. All right, let's talk about the not so good news for Apple. There's some upset people out there. If you own an iPhone 5 or 5S or whatever, something like that, and look at that. What happened there? I don't know. My battery is not looking too good. What's going on? Why is that? What is the deal with that? Well, I'll tell you what the deal is with that, my friends. Or my friend, I should say, because I'm speaking to you, and you alone. So the deal is this. iPhone owners actually sue Apple over slow older phones. And the number of suits filed against Apple continues to grow in the wake of the device maker's admission of deliberately slowing down older iPhones to prevent unexpected shutdowns as batteries age. 5 iPhone owners I know, it sounds like you would think we'd be thousands and millions of people, but people are hopping in on it. They've either owned, actually not the 5s, it's the 6. They've either owned an iPhone 6, 6 Plus, 6S, or 7 model. So that's the deal there. And I actually own a iPhone 6 and an iPhone 6S. No, I'm sorry. I own an iPhone 6S and an iPhone 6S Plus. Now, I've mentioned on previous shows, if you go and make a Genius Bar appointment, Apple, they never, it's interesting that they actually admit this. And I'll read you a little statement from them. But the people at Genius Bar, have certain kind of leeway, right? So you have to complain about it, though. Not complain, but you have to bring it to their attention. You're not going to hear from Apple saying, hey, there's a problem with batteries, come on in. But if you make an appointment at the Genius Bar and you go in and you say, I've got a problem with my battery, and then they look at their little secret thing and it says, if a customer complains about a battery with an iPhone 6, replace it for free. Something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it goes. It's pretty close to that because I got mine replaced for free. Okay? Didn't even have to. All I said is my phone, it goes down to like 34% and then it shuts off. And they hooked up some diagnostic thing, whatever. It's because it's true. So don't live with that phone that keeps, especially when you don't have to pay for it. Usually they charge like $100, $100 to give you a new battery. But no, you have to bring it to their attention. And so that's what I feel for. Like where I live, I can walk 8 minutes. Isn't that interesting? I timed it a couple different times. 8 minutes, I can walk to an Apple store. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case with a lot of people around the country, around the world, where you live. There may not be an Apple store. There's several where I live. So I guess you'd have to hop on with customer service or customer care and do a chat, an online chat, and be nice. That's all you know what? You have to be nice. That's what when I go in the Apple store, I've got a problem with my phone. I don't go, hey, this thing is. I go, yeah, I've got. You know what? It's not working right. Oh, well, let's take. You know what? Let's take a look at it. Great way to start a conversation is, hey, I've got a problem. I'm hoping you can help me with. That's how I like to start out conversations because that's pretty friendly, isn't it? Hey, I've got a problem. I'm hoping you can help me with. This piece of crap phone you sold. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. But contact Apple or whatever. If you have a problem with an iPhone 6, 6S, whatever, with the battery, and they might be able to help you. So Apple just made an official press release, a message to our customers about iPhone batteries and performance. Wow, this is like the biggest thing. They never admit it. Good company, though. I like Apple. Don't get me wrong. Love them. iTunes, come on. All right. It says we've been hearing feedback from our customers about the way we handle performance for iPhones with older batteries and how we have communicated that process. We know that some of you feel Apple has let you down. We apologize. There's been a lot of misunderstanding about the issue, so we would like to clarify and let you know about some changes we're making. First and foremost, we have never and would never do anything intentionally to shorten the life of any Apple product or degrade the user experience to drive customer upgrades. Our goal has always been to create products that our customers love, and making iPhones last as long as possible is an important part of that. So, I guess they didn't take the blame. But this is pretty interesting. What else do they have to say, huh? What else do they have to say? Well, all rechargeable batteries are consumable components that become less effective as they chemically age and their ability to hold a charge diminishes. Time and the number of times a battery has been charged are not only the factors in this chemical aging process. Device use also affects the performance of a battery over its lifespan. For example, leaving or charging a battery in a hot environment can cause the battery to age faster. These are characteristics of battery chemistry. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. And to help customers learn more about iPhone's rechargeable battery and their factors affecting performance, they actually posted a support site. If you just search iPhone battery and performance, and there it is. It says, it should go without saying that unexpected shutdowns are unacceptable. We don't want any of our users to lose a call, so on and so forth. So Apple is, so a couple things that, now this is I haven't seen this too often. So now I went in, I just said, hey, you know what? My battery goes down to 34%, and then just shuts off, and boom, they replaced it. So I think at the Apple Store they have more leeway. However, they did say this. All right, they did say that Apple is reducing the price of out-of-warranty iPhone battery replacements to $29 for anyone with an iPhone 6 or later whose battery needs to be replaced, starting in late January, so January 18, and it'll be available through December of 2018. So all of 2018, if you have an iPhone 6 or later with battery problems, remember this, okay? Remember that Apple will replace your battery for $29. I still say that's too much. When my battery, but whatever, okay? But they admitted it, and that there's a problem. One thing that I think they didn't bring up in this is that all these big software updates really drain the battery. And how many updates have they pushed out? A lot of them. Just getting the update. Some of these updates take so long, it can drain your battery, right? And so, and a lot of these updates need, more performance out of the phone, and because of that, it drains the battery. So it's a combination, I think, of that as well. That some of these updates, and they're needed, especially security ones. Okay, so don't get me wrong. You should always update. If you see an update, get the update, because there's a lot of security concerns these days. However, with that said, that's another thing I'd like to say. You should think about your phone over the next year if you own an iPhone 6 or later, because you can get the battery replaced for $29. I would guess if you spoke to the right person at an Apple store that they would do it complimentary, as they did with mine. So thank you, Apple. And I'm no special person. I'm just some guy who walked in and said, got a problem with the phone. I'm hoping you can help me with. Wow. What a great way to open a conversation. Okay. So, I'm thinking of where to go. Do we go this way? Do we go that way? Let's talk Tesla. You know Tesla? They make these electric cars. Elon Musk. It's an interesting name. You know what I'm talking about? They make these guys right here. That's a good car. Now, I test drove a couple of them, and I got to tell you, the torque is unbelievable. I know you're going, what are you talking about? And I'm talking about the torque. The guy told me, who was taking me in the car, he said, stop the car. He said, just stop the car in the middle of the road. I said, okay. All right, now floor it. Instantly, boom, you are pushed back in your seat. You are zooming. It is an experience that you will be experiencing because all these car makers are going electric. I believe Volvo mentioned that all their cars that they sell will be all electric by 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So this Tesla, wow, oh man, electric. Now, you have to charge them. You know, they have a certain amount of driving, whatever. So, wow, what a car, though. But check this out. They are making a semi. Yeah, look at that big bad boy. So Pepsi, PepsiCo officially is their name, but Pepsi, who makes all that stuff you probably shouldn't be drinking, they ordered 100 of these. All right? They ordered 100. Pepsi is planning to... Now, they own a lot of different brands, so here, give you a little idea. Pepsi is planning to haul some of its Cheetos and other stuff. That Diet Mountain Dew, I like that. In Tesla's electric commercial truck, the latest big rig order for the Silicon Valley vehicle maker, and a sign of the interest in the company's newest prototype, which that is. So Pepsi's put in an order for 100 Tesla semis. The snack and beverage giant declined to disclose costs or a time frame for the truck's delivery. So Tesla, by the way, if you want one of these, I don't think it's going to fit in your garage. Number one, if you have a garage. So if you want one of these, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But right now, they're promising delivery by 2019. You have to put $20,000 down right now. Okay, so right now, boom, can you put $20,000 down to reserve it? And you'll get it sometime in 2019 is hopefully the deal. Total cost. Hey, here's one with a Walmart. Kind of give you an idea there. Total cost. Well, the Series 1 starts at $200,000 for a truck with a 500-mile range, starting at 180. Oh, so it's 300. So you can go 300 miles. So for $150,000, you can go 300 miles without a charge. Okay, And then there are some other ones that will go 500 miles starting at 180,000. So companies such as Walmart were among the first to publicly disclose that they are buying one of these Tesla semis. I like semis, and I got to tell you, if you've never been in a semi, you got to give them some room. Because there's a lot going on with these gears and all this stuff. And when people cut in front of semis, I'm like, oh, man, because these guys, the professional truck drivers, that's an art. It is. Wow. Never mind. Well, it's not a story to tell right here on the Kid Friday. So, what's Bitcoin? If you heard, you must have heard about Bitcoin. There are apps out for Bitcoin. You can go Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin is a currency that, well, let's see. My daughter Hannah bought some Bitcoin off an app for $50. She bought $50 worth of Bitcoin. I think it's worth about $112 now, something like that. Bitcoin's crazy. It's very speculative. However, it is becoming more, what am I thinking of? Credible, because it's the Chicago market is listing it, and it is something else. This Bitcoin. You go Bitcoin mining, but it'll cost you more in electricity to mine it than I know, right? Exactly, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Exactly. Yes. You can go Bitcoin mining. You can go wherever you'd like to go, but Bitcoin is a digital currency that's not tied. See, this is the thing. It's not tied to any bank or government. So, like cash, it lets users spend or receive money anonymously or mostly so, like other online payment services. It also lets them do so over the internet. There are several other virtual currencies, such as Ethereum, I believe it's called. But Bitcoin is the most popular right now. This is the one that's happening. So your question is, I know what you're saying. You're saying, you're saying start the video over again. Where'd that come from? I don't know. Who was playing in the background there? All right, well, let's go back to this. Here's a little Bitcoin for you. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. So, Bitcoin. I'm telling you, if I have to, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but this Bitcoin is something else. Sorry, I'm looking for something right now, and I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, I was just looking for the background. I was just looking for our background. That's all I was looking for. And there it is. Oh, don't you love that? All right. So, the Bitcoin, digital currency, right? So, basically, it's how do I best describe the old Bitcoin? I would say that Bitcoins are basically lines of computer code that are digitally signed each time they travel from one place to the next. Transactions, it's kind of like banks do that too. Transactions can be made anonymously, like I said, and all that stuff. So how are Bitcoins mined? Because what does it mean, mined? You think of coal or something like that. Tech-savvy users called miners use their computers to make complex calculations that verify transactions in a set of established rules. In this way, the Bitcoin network harnesses individuals' greed for their collective good. NiceHash, the company that got hacked, see, that's where it's made a business from matching people with spare computing power to those wanting to mine Bitcoin. So how are they kept secret? They're secret because the transactions or blockchains, they're verified constantly by a network of miners the rogues that cannot spend the money, but they're keeping an eye on it. And the big question is, I mean, a year ago, whatever. When did you hear the name Bitcoin? When did you hear the name Bitcoin? So it's kind of a mystery. Bitcoin was launched in 2009 by a person or a group of people operating under the name Seldon. I'm not going to pronounce it, but it's Japanese. It looks Japanese to me. Bitcoin was then adopted by a small clutch of enthusiasts. They dropped off the map for a while, and all of a sudden, boom! Everybody said, "What is this?" And it's Bitcoin. If you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin so they started in 2009. Let's just say in 2012, if you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2012, you'd be a multi-millionaire. It's very volatile, though. And there's an online gaming company that announced that they were taking Bitcoin for payment, and they have decided to stop taking Bitcoin because of the volatility. It can go up and down in all different ways. So if you're interested in learning more about Bitcoin, obviously you can Google it. And you can also, there's some free apps out there where you can use it to buy Bitcoin, but I'm not telling you, you can just get the app and then check it out. And it'll give you the latest prices, because I'm not even going to tell you what the price is now, because it's going to, let's just say it's somewhere around the $12,000, $14,000 mark. But again, my daughter bought $50 worth. You can do that, and people speculate it's going to go up to like 40,000. Although it could go down to who knows. So, but there are some lucky people out there that have gotten some Bitcoin, but you can't mine it now on your if you use your neighbor's electricity. I'm not telling you to do this. That would not be right. Let's say with their permission. Then you could mine Bitcoin, and actually you would be able to mine your own Bitcoin and then sell it. But you know what I'm saying. We don't do that kind of stuff. All right, so do you use Bing? It's interesting. There's someone at the office who uses Bing, like constantly. I suppose if you have a Windows computer, you're more likely to use Bing. That probably comes as the default web browser. So Bing announced that they're Binging it up. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but a year or two ago, we on one of our shows we had something. We talked about Bing because they were doing something, and they were running commercials as well, called the Bing Challenge. Do you remember that? The Bing Challenge. It was. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. So anyway, Microsoft, which owns Bing, looks to make Bing results smarter with new AI, right? Artificial intelligence powered features, and a partnership with Reddit. And Reddit is, I don't know if you're familiar with Reddit, but it's a big it's a big deal. Reddit is one of the most popular websites in the world. And if you read something, you probably read it, right? Okay. So at an early artificial intelligence-focused event in San Francisco recently, a number of features and updates to Bing were announced, hoping that they can make the results smarter by leveraging the company's artificial intelligence research and that partnership. The company laid out its ways of injecting this is amazing. What kind of world do we live in? The company laid out ways of injecting artificial intelligence smarts into its Bing search engine, which a Microsoft exec said is actually used by a good amount of people, whether they know it or not, through partnerships with Yahoo. The company says that 1/3 of desktop search results in the U.S. are done on Bing. 1/3 on Bing. Wow, I didn't know that. The updates are focused on bringing more conversational, nuanced answers and user cards. And they say, hey, we're going to be bigger and better than Google. Google's the big guy. New features for Bing starting to roll out. I think last week they started rolling out, including intelligent search, intelligent image search, and conversational search. So what does that mean? It means 1/3. Wow. If you own a Windows computer, I suppose you are, Bing. Now I have an Apple computer, but I use Chrome more than Safari. I use Chrome. If you're interested in really digging into something kind of interesting, talk to mom and dad first, all right? But there's something called Tor. There's a web browser called Tor, and what it does is it reroutes your IP address. Like if you're if you want to look at your, like people use it in business. Like if I want to look at a competitor's website, but I want them knowing it's coming from mine, I go on Tor and look at theirs, and then you can, like, it goes from my website to like a server in France and then Germany, and then it looks like that it's someone coming from Spain, even though I'm not in Spain. I wish I were in Spain. You know that? Beautiful country. Beautiful, beautiful country. But there are a lot of web browsers out there. Another one that actually I've been using lately is Opera. Ever heard of it? Doesn't matter. You can check that out. I really like their homepage layout, which is nice, and they have gotten a lot better. They've hung on. Opera has hung on, and I commend them for that. So there are a lot of different web browsers besides Bing and Google and Safari. Try a Firefox. Okay, try. I actually like Firefox. Because of, their add-ons and stuff. We can get another time. But try Firefox. But make sure, talk to mom and dad before you download anything, because there are sites that offer these things that are also include malicious software that is not good for you. So you want to make sure you are downloading it correctly and from a trusted source. So Mozilla is the company that has Firefox. Make sure you download it directly from Mozilla. Wow. I opened an email the other day. I thought for sure that, and you know what? It was, how did that happen? I took care of it, but it fooled me. How about that? Not saying, I'm just saying. I say that a lot, too. Did we cover everything? I think we did. Is there anything else to cover? That arcade was so cool. Thanks again, Brian. You are the best. I mean that. And I'm not hoping, but if I ever need hip surgery, I trust you. You're my guy. And great guy. Really, just super nice guy. And what a collection. Guy's private collection of all these games. All right. This has been 2017. Ooh, we're going to talk to you on the flip side of the year. Except if it's already the flip side of the year. Then hope you had a happy new year. And great holiday. And some time off school. And, yeah. All right. We like to end with the beginning. And so that's what we're doing. It's 2017 officially. KidFriday.com production. All rights reserved. Don't mess with us. This is, I mean it. Don't mess with it. We show up. Wow. We're everywhere. Kid Friday is viewed in over 200 countries, and it's viewed by some interesting people. Just saying. Thought I'd throw that in there. All right. So we'd like to end with the beginning. Talk to you on the next Kid Friday. Hey, thanks for watching. Tell all your friends. Write a review, whether you're on YouTube or iTunes, or you can go to kidfriday.com or on the Facebook. Would you come? Would you help us? Thank you. We have a lot of fun. Talk to you in the next show.
Hit it, hit it, hit it.
Oh! Let's get this party started.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I love computers. I have an iPod. I'm a gadget freak. I like to play with my display. I do it every day. I have awesome technique. Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I love this stuff, can't you see? Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I'm a kid who's in love with technology. Kid Friday.
Kid Friday. Bye-bye.